Selling digital products on Etsy is not as easy as most sellers make it out to be. I personally have had to relaunch and rebrand my Etsy store in efforts not to have to shut it down and have all of the progress that I've made completely wiped away. I should have done more research before opening up my Etsy shop. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 mistakes that I made when I opened up my Etsy shop so that you don't make the same mistakes. Hey, Editing Roxy here. Because my husband came in the last time I was recording and kind of threw off my thought process. Give you guys a bonus tip that I feel is going to be very beneficial to you as well. So definitely watch until the end of this video. So obviously opening up a digital product business is very desirable to most of us because we hear so much about it being passive income. What we don't really hear anybody talk about is the side of selling digital products that requires so much time, effort, and energy. And although creating digital products can definitely be a nice form of passive income, it doesn't come without first putting in the work. Let me explain. The digital product business is I don't want to use the word saturated, but it is very competitive. In order to stand out from the competition, you have to strategize, you have to stand out, and you have to find ways to stand out, and you have to constantly be innovating. The number one mistake that I made when opening up my Etsy shop was that I created a bunch of digital products that I wanted to create without first researching the digital products that consumers were looking for. That's number one. I created a whole bunch of amazing digital products that I was so excited to create and weren't in demand. So those products sat in my shop. You get the point, right? So I did a lot of this, right? Instead of doing the research and seeing what was already in high demand, I created things that I thought were pretty and that I thought the consumers would buy just because I thought that they were good for me. And that's not how it works. So that leads me to my second mistake that I made when I opened up my digital product business on Etsy. So the second thing that I would say led to the demise of my first brand. The second thing that I feel as though I could have done different is put more time into creating my listing photos. It seems to be more of a popular opinion now. However, when I opened up my Etsy shop, it's almost been a year and I didn't put too much effort into the listing photos. What I've learned from that situation is that those listing photos are what's going to sell your product. And obviously now that I've been improving on that, I mean, I've improved drastically because I forced myself to do better and I am going to make my shop successful and I am going to be selling passively. I am determined to turn my shop from selling 0 digital products to selling occasionally to now selling more often. My goal was to sell hundreds of products a month. So though selling digital products, it's a way to build passive income, what we don't realize is how much work is put into creating the digital product and then not just creating the product itself, creating the listing photos. So you want to create a really good premium product. That's my focus on now. That's something that I could have done differently and that I wish I had done differently that I know hindered my shop. I created products that were great. Yes, they were great. They weren't competitive. They were just like everything else that was on Etsy. Now I focus more on the customer service aspect of it. So I think more like the consumer now, and when I create the product, I create it with the customer in mind in the sense that I include all of the instructions, how to access the product, how to use the product, how to download the product. I include tutorials. The way that I package my product now is nothing like when I first. So the first mistake that I made when I opened up my Etsy shop was just assuming that I was just going to create digital products that I like, put them up on Etsy, and they were just going to sell like hotcakes. That's mistake number one. No, it doesn't happen like that because not all digital products are created equal. They do require a lot of work to be put into them prior to putting them up for sale. Now, the third mistake that I made when I first opened up my Etsy shop was that I didn't maintain a cohesive look, right? Right now in the creator economy, branding is important. Branding on social media, branding in your business. I made very novice mistakes, right? So I just assumed that you can go on Etsy, post up these digital products, and the color palette didn't matter too much. If I could redo this again, what I would do is definitely just keep a cohesive look to my shop. Yes, I could play with colors, experiment with colors, but give it an overall cohesive look so that I didn't look like I was all over the place. Because overall, when customers come to your shop and everything looks nicely organized and neat, it gives off the vibe that you're professional and that you're a premium brand, that you are a premium shop, and in that case, your product is also premium. So the way that your brand reflects on your shop tells the customer what they're going to be receiving when they receive your product. Once I decided on rebranding and relaunching my shop, I started incorporating little changes and just correcting the mistakes that I made when I first opened up my shop. I started seeing growth and I am so excited. Every time I make a little sale, I'm like, woohoo, $4.99. Right now, I am in the process of rebranding. I'm relaunching. I am going to be revealing what my shop is very soon. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my journey. I am determined to grow this Etsy shop. Speaking from experience, from when I first opened up my Etsy shop, my advice would be, number one, before you start posting up digital products that you think are so cute and are just going to sell because you think they're good looking, take your time doing your research to see what's actually in demand. Number two thing would be...
What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? He's gonna come out of this. He thinks he's not. The top 3 things that I would change if I could start my Etsy shop all over again would be, number one, definitely do my research to see what's in demand, what the marketplace is actually looking for, and not what I just think is cute or what I think that... The other thing would be to have a cohesive look. Remember, this is also business, which incorporates branding, so you want everything to kind of match and look neat so that the customer looks at you as though you are a professional and they are going to be receiving a premium product, right? Third one is, most importantly, the one that I think is most important is definitely your actual product. Take your time in building your actual product, include the tutorials. That's what I'm doing now, the how-tos, the tutorials, how to access it, how to download it, how to use it, all of those things. Kind of think like the customer. I mean, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm not coming off like an expert because I'm still a novice myself. But what I'm doing now is like every product that I'm creating or recreating, and if you find out what my shop is, don't judge me because I haven't taken some of those listings down. I'm actually fixing them all as I go because, like I said, I threw a whole bunch of digital products out there and they're sitting there. Anyway, include all of the how-tos, the guides. What I did personally is I created e-guides and I incorporated them into my listing and create compelling listing photos that include what the product is, what they're going to be getting, all of that good stuff, and I'll do another video on that later. So the bonus tip that I wanted to give you guys that I haven't heard anyone really talk about is when you create your product and when you create your listing, if you keep this in mind, it'll keep you on your toes. From the start, when you create your digital product, create it as though you have the most competition in the world. Keep in mind that competition is constantly rising, right? The more that people want to get into the digital product business, the more competition you're going to have, right? Keep in mind that those new shops opening up are studying you. You may come up in their search. You may come up as a shop that they're going to aspire to be like, if not better, usually better. So create your product already to the best of your ability, keeping in mind that other new shops, not just the new shops, but other new shops are going to be opening up and they're going to be doing their research. If your product isn't already good and getting traction, they can come and take that market share. So you already want to kind of be building that traction and those sales prior to those new shops opening up. It kind of already establishes you as the go-to for your customer. And if you keep that in mind, for sure, you will definitely be on your P's and Q's when creating your product. If you like this video, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button. It'll help push me into the algorithm, and you know, that's just pure honesty. We all want to grow, right? So definitely help me out and hit the like button. No shame at all to ask. Thanks, guys. Be blessed, YouTube fam.